This is our nightly kick-around of all things World Cup. Peter Welton, Andy Swift, and Lars on World Cup Kick-Around. Brought to you by Pantalones Organic Tequila, The Wolf of Law Street, and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
As Mohebi, great little ball. Around might be able to capitalize here. And a huge save from Shobir. And the follow-up is in. And it's Ramin Rezayan.
Welcome to World Cup Kick-Around and our coverage of Match Day 17 of aforementioned World Cup. For Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket, you can find out all the details of how you can catch up on missed episodes, listen via podcast, live on the radio, streaming, etc., or maybe even find yourself a World Cup Kick-Around t-shirt, if you like, on our website, thekickaround.com. I'm here. To my left, the world's most interesting man is here, Andy Swift.
Howdy, Soccer Peter.
Howdy, Soccer Andy. And way over there, looking rested and ready to go.
I am all of those things, Peter.
It is your favorite Norwegian and mine, Lars Sivertsen.
Hello, everyone.
Lars?
Yeah.
I was going to, what was I going to ask you about? There was something in particular. Did you take Alto today, since this appears to be on the run sheet where we talk about Alto? Very improvisationally?
I didn't today, Peter. I got a lift today.
But what are you doing after
A lift
the
from
show?
Andy.
Yes.
Yes.
But after the show, Andy's got to run because he's going to the other match. So I will ride in style going back home.
So you'll turn your phone on and wait, hold on. You'll turn your you don't need a phone. You just do this.
Yeah, exactly right.
And an Alto shows up.
This is how it works.
Appears out of.
We've had them. We've had such a good cooperation with Alto this summer that we've had that added as a feature. If you blow the horn, the Alto will appear.
Or if Alto, instead of honking like through traffic, they just have to.
That would be good if we could
that would be awesome.
That's a level of customization that I would like. If the one specifically that I'm in, the Viking horn goes if there's traffic.
Because I have to give Alto kudos. Their drivers are very much on top of this World Cup thing.
Yeah.
The kick around
Yes.
bars.
Yes.
So Alto, pretty please. Can you incorporate
Customize the honk.
Yes.
I think that should be a feature.
should
If you can set it to yeehaw, then you can customize the honk.
Get Viking horn. That would be great.
There might be safety rules that prohibit this from happening.
Could you imagine
Especially
the confusion
going to the game.
Could you imagine the confusion on the highway if you started hearing this behind you? Like, what? What is that?
I think this is a more civil kind of honk. Maybe this is what they did when they went on. If there was a long ship traffic jam across the sea when we were heading to Scotland.
Isn't it what Vikings would blow when they were getting ready to go pillage a village?
Well, yeah, but I was just thinking, like, if there were too many long ships arriving at the same time and there was a long ship traffic jam, and this would maybe be how they honked.
So, heading down 30, going to Dallas Stadium in Arlington, you're just opening traffic in your Alto with the horn. And
Yes.
people will be like, yes, Norway's playing.
That's right.
gotta
Alto's coming.
Alto's coming.
Lars
That's
is in an
Lars.
Alto.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. That would be great. Yes. Well, thank you, Alto, for hauling Lars around and being so kick-ass this entire World Cup for not just Lars, but everybody that is getting. In fact, a good P1 Robert used Alto for the very first time. He let us know the other day due to Lars'
We're spreading the word.
So you are spreading the word. Thanks. RideAlto.com. Go check it out. Thanks, Alto. Before we go, Lars, this is something I meant to ask you about yesterday because of the Norway game. I totally forgot. And actually, it works out this way because I have the audio this time, and I wouldn't have had it yesterday. I was curious if, one, you've heard this, and two, whether you have or not, your reaction to Holland's comments before yesterday's game against France when he was asked about the game against France. This is what he answered.
Honestly, I don't care too much now. We're through. We managed to get through, which is incredible. So I couldn't care too much about that game now. They're probably going to win against us. They're probably going to win the whole tournament.
I feel like we talked about this on the show. But
Did we?
yeah. I mean, this was the post-game interview after Senegal. And this is the perspective I'm trying to bring because there's been so much hype around Norway, because they have some really famous players. I hear like casual soccer fans talk about, oh yeah, they'll get to a semi-final. You got to understand, our perspective is that we've never won a knockout game. Like, we've not been successful in this tournament ever, really. We beat France, we beat Brazil back in '98 when they had nothing to play for, but like for us, getting out of the group is a big win. For us, getting past Ivory Coast would be incredible. Like, our perspective on it is slightly different. I say that. I think that's the perspective within the camp. I think that's the perspective among the players. I think there are some Norwegians who have gotten carried away as well. That's definitely true. I can't speak for everyone. But generally, I think people need to realize that these are big moments for us.
Yeah, I would say not that Norway's not a soccer nation, but a soccer nation more experienced in World Cups. An Argentina, for example.
A Brazil, a Germany.
If they did this for rotation in a game that stood, where they couldn't advance, I think generally the fan base would be really understanding because they've done the drill before. They understand that rotation is more important because that knockout game.
That's why we were so freaked out that France didn't rotate yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But they did in the Qatar. Like, countries do occasionally rotate, and then it kind of depends on what the situation is. The other thing that I keep drumming on about, the game against Senegal was a big physical effort for us. That was played in quite a lot of heat, quite a lot of humidity. The coach said they had 5 to 6 players who were really affected by the physical effort they had to put in that game.
I think we are on the side of the rotation. It's the Norwegian supporters that are mad that we kind of are like, man, really? That's what we're wondering.
Well, I'm more curious about your star player just essentially abdicating a game in a tournament to your opponent
because he knows the thing that matters is to go through in the group.
Right. No, I get it. I'm just saying, here in this country, many times, if a star player from your team was to say that about an opponent, they would catch holy hell for that attitude.
Okay.
And so I'm just curious, is that just a Holland-specific way of treating it? Is that a Scandinavian or Norwegian attitude?
I think Erling Haaland is a very honest person.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, this is the difference. Haaland thinks what he was thinking. A star athlete here would think the same thing.
But not say it
publicly.
But
what he would say is rotation is important. We want to be ready for the knockout. Holland, being Norwegian and culturally, just says what's on his mind.
Yeah, I think that's great.
And that's the difference.
Yeah, I was really entertained by the answer.
Right.
He is very honest. That's one of the reasons he's a little bit cautious with the media a lot of the time, because I think he's smart enough to know that there are situations you as an elite athlete can't be honest. Mm-hmm. So he's always been a little bit guarded with the media. He's starting to take more ownership of his messaging, as they would say. But yeah, he's a very...
But culturally, it's Norwegian too, right?
And I just think people have to understand, like, you might look at our squad and think beating Iraq and Senegal is not a big thing, but for us it was a big thing.
Sure.
We've not done well. I mean, we did this. We all know, like, we didn't go through in '94, even though we were second in the FIFA rankings at one point in the '90s. We just about scraped through in '98, but then had a nothing performance against Italy and got knocked out in the first knockout round. Like, we have no history of being good at tournaments. And we knew when the draw happened that there's a version of this where it goes wrong. The Senegal are a really good team. France have got the best squad in the tournament. So when the draw happened, we were thinking, like, this might be a golden generation, but there's a version of this that goes very wrong for us. So actually beating Senegal, going through, that was the thing that mattered the most. And it put us into a position where we could make a decision that was for the best for the whole group against France.
Yeah. And coming second, too, in that group, which many people consider to be the most difficult group in the tournament.
Yeah, no, that's good. I do understand the argument that people were hoping to see Mbappe versus Holland and all this sort of stuff, but our coaching staff has to make the right decision for the group, not what's the right decision. So Solbakken did say this publicly. He said the only real argument for starting Martin Ødegaard and Erling Haaland there was the fans. It was the fact that you have fans who have paid to travel, fans at home at watch parties who want to see our best guys. He is conscious of that. But that's not how you have to make the right sporting decision, which was to rest players, because the game on Tuesday is going to be probably the biggest game in our national team's history.
Yep. Yeah, but see, this is the beauty of this show, and just to kind of pull the curtain back, one of the best things that's happened to you and I in the last week or so are people that we either know or ourselves have encountered that say, hey, man, I've learned so much. I'm not into the game. I just kind of watch soccer when the World Cup comes, but I listen to the KickAround and I learn stuff. And I think this kind of stuff is really important for us to talk about, because I think this is what kind of makes all of this very different for people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a very unique animal for sure.
And lastly on it, it's not as if you have rightly pointed out that it was worth using some of the U.S. main guys against Turkey because you have a long wait until the next one. So
You don't.
No, we don't. We play on Tuesday. So resting guys, that means they have a 7-day turnaround, which is the normal turnaround that players typically want to have.
I will say one of the biggest epiphanies or lessons that I have gotten out of this in the first 10 days or 14 days, whatever it is, from Andy, is the reveal that host nations, I don't think I've ever picked up on this, how host nations get an advantageous kind of setup from the jump. Now, if you're Canada and you blow it and you don't win your group, you abdicated.
That goes away.
But the U.S., Mexico are really in a good situation because they won their group and the tournament is kind of set up in their favor.
Yeah, it's happened. It's a FIFA thing in World Cups, just to give the host nation an advantage to go a little bit farther, because it's always good when the host nation advances. And the other thing, too, I will say is with even the coaches from these national teams that have been very successful for long periods of time in World Cup history, when they rotate, they'll be asked about it. They'll say, we had to rotate because I needed to rest players for the more important game. Period. End of story. And I feel like the Norwegian manager has to keep explaining why he did it.
Yeah.
All the facts are on his side. He should have just been able to say, I'm rotating because I need to rotate because they need rest and we have an important game coming up.
The other thing I think with Ståle Solbakken, the coach of Norway, is that we've qualified for a major tournament for the first time in 28 years, and he was the coach who took them there. I think he's earned a degree of trust.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I think
100%.
Those of my compatriots who are annoyed at him for not playing the players they wanted to see in the game should maybe bear that in
But
mind.
I also think it's an interesting reflection of Pochettino's post-game press conference after the Turkey game, where he got annoyed with the media going, well, why did you didn't win? And
he got annoyed at you because the media was asking
question.
No, but they were a reflection.
Yes, and he was like, wait, guys, we got through. Turkey's on a plane tomorrow to go back to Istanbul.
Boom.
Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
And maybe that is part of that job that we don't always square and think about.
You got to go beat Bosnia, and Norway, you got to go beat Ivory Coast, and then things are really happening. But anyway, you set yourself up to be in the best position to win that game. That's all you can ask for.
Well, after last night, Lars and I are tied on exactly one correct answer to Andy's World Cup quiz. So do we have the sounder ready, guys? All right, it's time now. Well, yep. Time now for Andy's World Cup quiz question.
Okay.
On it.
We must be on deadline.
Straight
So we've already had two teams advancing out of group play without conceding a goal. Mexico and Spain, and then Argentina and Ghana also have a chance to do so. It's only happened 12 other times in World Cup history where a team has advanced out of group play without conceding a goal, and we could have as many as 4 in this tournament, and that's a factor of having more groups. I get it, but that's still a lot for one tournament. But the question is, which country holds the modern World Cup record for the most goals conceded while still finishing first or second in their group and advancing to the knockout rounds?
Please repeat the question.
Yes. Which country holds the World Cup record in modern times? When I did my research, I started in 66 and then started doing the research. So the last 60 years. The most goals conceded in group play while still finishing first and second and advancing to the knockout rounds. Okay?
Great question.
First or second?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Most
Good
goals conceded
question.
in group play and advancing as a first or second. Okay. And I started in 66. I didn't
Big
go
fan
beyond.
of that.
So modern times, last
A lot of the
60
records
years.
started 66, I've noticed.
Anyway, yeah.
Love it. All right, there's Andy's mysterious
It's a good
and
quiz.
seemingly difficult World Cup quiz question of the day, which we will answer at the very, very end of the show, because that's a trick we pull to make you listen to the whole damn thing. When we come back, we will revisit last night. World Cup After Dark got really wild and very weird, and we'll talk about it next on World Cup Kick-Around.
Cause it's a part of the winning spirit. You gotta keep your chin up, and we'll be coming home. with
Still the
World Cup.
best?
So put your best foot
I don't
forward.
know.
Together, let's
Between
rest.
this and World in
But make
Motion, I'm
sure
sure
momentum is
the end of a tournament of World Cup theme songs.
I think the key thing with the World Cup music, there should be an equal balance of, like, it should be 50-50 cringe and actually good.
Agree. Yes.
That's the key. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be good.
Yeah, they
That's
can't all
my
be.
My issue with World in Motion is it's actually good, which for me isn't what World Cup music is all about. It should be in like equal parts cringe and good. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, what?
What, per song or just the overall mix?
The vibe of the song, yeah.
Oh, the vibe
Yeah,
of
yeah,
each
yeah.
particular
Oh,
song.
in each individual
that's what-
song.
yeah,
Oh,
that would
okay.
that's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to be
You're
good
very-
and cringy
Yes,
at the same
but
time.
that is why the
So
the
what would be
classic-
the best?
The Bosnian.
the Bosnian one is great.
Yeah.
That's part cringe, part good.
Do we have that one easily, handily, guys? The Bosnia one?
We have to play that when we preview U.S. Bosnia. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
we'll
We'll save
we're
it.
gonna listen to it. Yes.
I do think that the sort of punk rock song calling the Norwegians the farmers from the north is pretty good.
Yeah, that
I
is.
think the Swedish ones we played are pretty good.
That is pretty
The,
kick-ass.
the Dutch one we played a few times, definitely too cringe. Like that's out bananas. But you know,
I don't. Did they even do a U.S. one this year?
They did because I remember seeing something, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
FIFA did an entire album, but they're not. You know, it's too corporate. I think
Yeah,
for me.
I agree. All right, let's get into World Cup After Dark last night. So I tried Andy's recommendation of popping on Peacock and Telemundo because I was in bed. I had gone and had a very late dinner with my lovely wife.
Nice.
Got home, crawled into bed.
Yes, as you
and,
do after a nice late
that's-
dinner with
that's
your
right,
wife.
That's
yeah.
right. And I turned on the
Oh, and that's where it
the
diverges.
doubles. Oh, yeah, I've been married 30 years, and it doubles. I tried your double screen
Yeah.
trick.
Yeah.
And I
Thanks to Peacock.
typically don't mind double screen, but for some reason, I think it's because I wasn't wearing my glasses and I couldn't really see everything clearly.
It wasn't the proper setup maybe for.
Plus, it also was a problem that it was a red team versus a white team, so it looked like you were watching the same game in delay on two.
We ran into that same issue at
Right.
times, and one game was replaying what happened in the other
Yes,
game. That was
it was
confusing.
very confusing.
Plus, for you, if it's in Spanish, you like if you have the audio, the ability to hear
Listen,
the call,
that probably would help.
that would have helped.
Yeah, no, I did. I
Yeah.
did not try to do Spanish
No,
lessons
okay.
last night. So last night at the same time, it was the Belgians and the New Zealand's facing off, and the Egyptians and the Iranians up in Seattle. You know what? I got to say, we made a big deal about that being Pride Night. Did that ever turn into a thing
No, FIFA,
during the game?
FIFA dismissed. No, not during the game. No,
It never showed up, or there was no.
not that we saw. Yeah.
Did you see anything, Lars?
I've seen flags.
No, I
Was
mean
there-
during the game.
No,
did
no,
anything
really,
happen during the
there were
game?
no
Any
controversies
issues,
as much
yeah.
as I can tell.
Because I knew the Egyptians and the Iranians were all,
Yes.
very concerned that something was going to happen they
They-
would find offensive
Yeah.
and walk off the field, and I just didn't know if anything happened.
Confirmed that they did not walk off the field.
Okay, very good. I did not watch much of the games. I fell asleep. Sorry. I woke up and I watched highlights and everything.
You missed World Cup
It's
after
it's
I
dark,
know,
tough for
dude.
Peter.
It's very
Peter's a morning.
tough.
Their
I'm-
listener,
I'm a
Peter,
morning
is a
person.
morning person.
It
It's
got off to a
difficult.
late start, and you're like, "Oh, this World Cup after dark is a big bag of nothing," and
It's
then,
turned into a big bag of
and-
everything.
and then it
Went
just
nuts.
flipped.
It did.
Went nuts.
So let me just start here because I do think for Americans, this suddenly now changes a little bit of everybody's mood. I don't know what the right word
Hype?
is.
We're going to get to the quarterfinals hype.
Getting into the tournament because Belgium finally started to look like. So, Lars, last night Belgium wins 5-1 over New Zealand.
Yeah,
Jeremy Doku is back with the team.
he is.
They win 5-1.
Couple of poachy goals from Trossard. De Bruyne hit a good one. Lukaku jumped. A lot of things were looking Belgian.
Yeah, so the reality is this means Belgium wins the group, which means that if the U.S. wins their round of 32, you're probably going to end up facing Belgium, not Egypt,
Yeah.
in the round of 16. And how much of what we saw from Belgium last night is them finally figuring it out and flipping the switch, and how much of it them playing the lowest ranked team in the tournament in New Zealand?
I would skew a little bit towards the alternative B there. I think New Zealand coped all right with the first two games, did better than I was expecting them to. They got a draw against Iran. They lost but fought bravely against Egypt, but here they were just outclassed. You got to remember this is a team that's playing like New Caledonia and teams like this in qualifying. Like they're not prepared for this really in any meaningful way, and there's no way for them to be prepared for this sort of thing. That's why it was such a genius move by Australia to join the Asian Confederation. So they actually play good teams occasionally.
It's not you, it's me.
I thought they were completely outgunned here, New Zealand, and I don't really judge them for that. That's just a circumstance of what this team is, and it allowed some of the older boys for Belgium to do their stuff. It's a theme that you've mentioned a few times, Peter. Do we really know if any of these teams are any good? This looked better from Belgium, but yeah, I'm not fully convinced this is Belgium actually being good.
So is that a bad is that a I guess what I'm trying to get to is if the U.S.
For
now
the US,
sees
yeah.
that the U.S. is going to play them in the round of 16, should their attitude about progressing past that point be any different versus playing Egypt?
I think this is probably harder than facing Egypt, I would say. But also, this Belgium team, I think, is still a softer opponent than you would usually expect to get in a round of 16 at a World Cup. So
Yeah.
this is still, I mean, it's still a good draw for you guys. And I think what the U.S. has, you've got a lot of energy and running power. Certainly, you've shown that in the first couple of games. And I think that's something the Belgians would struggle with a little bit.
So pre-tournament, I did have the U.S. meeting Belgium in that round of 16, and just in picking my bracket, I picked the U.S. to advance to the quarterfinals because I was like, if the U.S. is going to make that next move, that step forward, and make this a successful World Cup on the field, they have to beat that Belgium team in the round of 16, and that's what I have. But I think that's the line. I mean, obviously, if they lose against Bosnia, we're disappointed.
Sure.
And now we re-examine who we are. But
You don't offer a contract?
Yeah, right.
Got to sign that thing
Yes.
real fast.
But if you advance as expected, you're meeting the team that you would have expected in the round of 16. This is the quasi big time team, not quite, but quasi. You have to win that game for the U.S. and for us as a soccer nation to say we've taken a step forward.
Yeah.
And this is a game you have to win. And
The other weird kind of factoid about this is assuming the U.S. goes and meets Belgium in the round of 16, it is a weird quirk of reality that they will, four of the five teams they will have played in this World Cup, they will have played in a friendly within the previous calendar year.
Huh.
All three Group P teams.
That's interesting.
They last played Bosnia in 2021 in a friendly, and they just played Belgium back, in March.
you think that's all a coincidence? Or do you think there's people like looking at? No, some of them are.
Well, the
like
group,
Bosnia.
yeah. Well, no, the group stage. Well, Bosnia was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fact that you played all three of your group opponents.
No, I know. I was
Odds
kidding.
of it-
I was saying that's good scouting and lining up
Maybe.
opponents. But
I do think if you're a U.S. fan and you're really curious about this team that you might meet, I mean, the key thing is the round of 32 games that they'll play against South Korea or Senegal or very possibly Algeria. Then we'll learn more about Belgium. They have attacking players that are really quite good. And against New Zealand, they were linking up a little better than what we've seen before. But I also don't trust them defensively at all, to be honest. And I think, yeah.
Well, let me say this. I don't want anybody to get past the fact that they still have to beat Bosnia.
Yeah.
Bosnia are,
they're now pushovers.
pushover.
Yeah.
They beat Italy
Yeah,
they
to
did.
come to the World Cup, everybody. So they play a pretty straightforward game of football, and at any given moment, Dzeko can happen.
Yes.
100%.
Yep.
Or one of these two young wingers they have. No, it's going to be an exciting game. U.S.
Then
are favorites. But,
After that, at the same time, was Egypt and Iran, which was kind of a wild game, not unexpected. And then anything before we get to the incident, would you guys like to mention anything about the game?
yeah, I'm obviously furious with Egypt here for the reason of them making me look silly again.
Because last night,
my lock was Egypt to win. I thought they were going to do it. I thought the sum total of everything Iran had been through would simply make it not easy for them to perform in this game. And early on in the game, I felt good about that. Of course, Egypt scored the first goal. Iran got an equalizer, but after that, there was a period where Egypt looked so much better that I thought, you know what, this is going to be fine. This is going to happen. But as the game dragged on, I got the sense that they just kind of settled for that draw and they stopped playing. And that ended up hurting them in the end. That ended up mattering. I just think they could have won the group here quite easily, and they just almost decided not to. And this is not like Norway resting players because we're playing the best team in the tournament. This is Iran. Now, this is Egypt playing against an Iran team who are up against all these problems that we've spoken about, and they were in total control of this game, and they just didn't go for it. And it made me really wonder why. What are you doing, guys?
For a while, when it was 1-1 and they were coasting a little bit, like Lars said, Belgium hadn't racked up the goals against New Zealand, and Egypt was still winning the group. At the same time, these teams knew that if they finished second, they get a date with Australia,
right,
in the AC, indoors. Finishing second in this group wasn't the worst thing in the world. What Egypt had to worry a little bit was Iran coming back, and like they did, they were this close. We'll talk about that offside goal. But if Iran wins that game, then Egypt is a wild card, and then they throw themselves in a situation they don't want to. So they were playing with fire a little bit. In terms of Iran, you and I talked a lot about this, Lars, as we were watching the game, and I kept harping about it leading up to the game, is don't discount the power of human spirit, and it doesn't, like, the bonding and the us against the world mentality doesn't work in a long season in club soccer. But in a 1-month tournament or a 2-week group stage, when everything in the world is against you and you're bonding, Iran had a little bit of something because of that, you know?
For sure,
And
100%.
So, yeah.
And they should have won this game. They would have deserved to win with the chances they had towards the end. And I was kind of rooting for them, even though, again, it makes me look silly, but that's fine. It was a very, and was this also the first sort of end of group stage situation where we were sat looking, oh, what does that mean? Who goes through now? What's happening? It's the first time I've been sat there being really excited about the outcome of a group.
Because it was going all over the map.
Yeah. Well, so if you've seen the highlights, watched the game last night, I woke up this morning with several people sending me texts, or we got tweets about it, which is, why was that goal called offside? And this is kind of the weird quirk of the offside rule that a lot of people miss, because many people get into the game or just watch it once every 4 years, and they think the offside rule has something specific to do with the goalkeeper being one of the last two, and it's not. It's the last two defenders. And in this particular case, the goalkeeper was just far away from the goal enough. He wasn't either one of those guys, much less the last one or the next to last one. And so that's why the last defender is essentially, in this scenario, typically the goalkeeper. Then you've got a defender, and that's where the offside occurred. And that's why it was called correctly in the moment.
Yeah. So again, the way it's written in the laws is that a player is in an offside position if any part of the head, body, or feet is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent.
Yeah.
And because in 99.99 cases of the time, that second last opponent, that last opponent will be the goalkeeper, you're looking at the second last opponent as one of the defenders. But in this case, the goalkeeper had gone rogue. He was out of his net, and it changes the equation.
There were like three other little elements to that sequence, which was an offside on the original shot, a potential handball on the rebound, a foul that wasn't a foul, all of it. It was a very hectic moment for the game, and a very important moment, because Iran wins that game, things change dramatically.
They come here.
Right, exactly. It's insane. Yeah. So that's how it ended up 1-1. So Belgium win the group, Egypt second. Iran is now questionably a team that may or may not make it, and is a third-place qualifier. We need the rest of the day to play out. All right, when we come back, speaking of the rest of the day, it doesn't start till 4. We'll get into previewing the 4 o'clock games next on World Cup Kick-Around. Maybe this should just be the Kick-Around's official theme song. It's still the best one.
Yeah, no contest from here.
And I don't even know why. It just, like, if this wasn't a World Cup theme song, I would still think this would be an awesome song, just period, the end. This is England's from, what year was this one, Lars?
90, right?
90. No. 98?
No, I think, I think
94.
94? Was the 94?
No, England didn't go to the 94 World Cup.
Yes.
86 or 90?
It's 90.
It's 90.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Called it.
Kick ass.
But the element of cringe is that the lyrics are clearly about soccer, which sounds weird in the context of this being an actually good song. So that's where you get the cringe that you need for it to be a proper soccer banger.
Okay, see, now I'm picking up what you mean by that. Okay, very good.
You're an 80s music child, Peter. How did you not get that this wasn't that 80s vibe? It's the
Well, I know
90s
that,
one,
but I did, for whatever reason, I thought it was later than 90.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I was trying to pick up on. All right, well, we got a lot of soccer still to happen. None of it has happened, and yet there are 6 games today, and it doesn't kick off until 4 o'clock when we get to finish up Group L. Listen, everybody, after today, we get a whole different vibe. It's a different thing all the way around. Not as many games, but way more dramatic and way more important. So Group L, we up in New Jersey on Fox, we get Panama doing their thing against England, and then we have Croatia and Ghana over in Philly. By the way, the weather in Philly for this game is going to be brutal.
Yeah.
The wet bulb temperature is above 70, which is like one step down from dangerous.
So if you're Croatian or you're Ghanaian, who does it hurt worse?
I think it hurts Croatia more because
I think it hurts
Yes,
humanity.
it was a rhetorical question. It's
yeah.
obviously
because they're going to unleash the Carlos Queiroz orchestrated suffer ball on Croatia and try to basically stop a game of football from breaking out.
Yeah, Croatia not only has to deal with the awful weather, but also has to deal with battling suffer ball.
Yeah.
For 90 minutes.
I will
need a
say
result.
these could be terrible football matches, both of them.
You
But
think?
Yes,
because of the weather?
No, just because Ghana are going to try to do the thing that they've done, the thing they did very successfully against England, and Panama are going to try to CONCACAF that into oblivion. The game against England, that's going to be all the sneakiness and the defensive stuff. An early goal would light up like either one. Like both of those games are like, if you could get an early goal, then it like opens up a bit more and becomes fun. But there's a severe risk of these being painful watches.
I don't mean to speak for my friend Andy Swift and our mutual friend John Arnold, but we would enjoy watching Panama CONCACAF the F out of England today. It would be a lot of fun.
Oh, for TV drama purposes, yes. And, is it going to be hot in New York as well? This will matter a little bit. You only looked up Philly. But,
I know I had the weather. I tweeted it earlier today. But
I think, Lars, England, they're starting to do they're starting to acknowledge the length of the tournament, the weather factors, and starting to rotate a little bit.
They have made some changes in the starting lineups. Looks like Declan Rice is being rested. Declan Rice, who has said publicly that he has some nerve pain in his hamstring, so that's something he's been wrestling with for a while. So it's going to be Bellingham in midfield, looks like, with Morgan Rogers slotting into that number 10 spot. Rashford starting ahead of Gordon on the left. I think everyone wanted that. And Bukayo Saka has been deemed fit enough to start.
Oh,
they've been managing his minutes. I wonder if that was on purpose, that they want to keep him fresh-ish, because he's another one who's had a lot of minutes this season.
Is this right that Kwanzaa's starting it right back?
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Wow.
They have a right back problem now. Like, this is a hot topic in England because Reece James, surprise, surprise, is injured yet again. And I know we have a lot of listeners who are not steeped in the EPL lore, but Reece James is a very, very talented player. And when he's fit, he's England's best right back, and he's also one of their better midfielders if you put him there. But he has a lot of injury issues.
And he might be done for the tournament.
That is the thing. And he has a lot of injury issues. Everyone knows Reece James gets hurt all the time. But Thomas Tuchel said in his press conference that, like, no one could have foreseen this happening. He was looking fine. And I was like, Tommy, I've got some bad news for you, man. Like, everyone could have foreseen this happening.
And he left Trent at home.
Yes.
Oh.
But he doesn't like Trent Alexander-Arnold. He likes defenders who defend.
A lot of people. Okay.
That was
Just
your
saying,
issue
I was
with him too,
not
Andy.
saying I agree, Andy. I'm
There
just
was
saying
a
that's
plenty of day
he's
where
a
you
Liverpool
bitched about
boy.
Trent
No, I
and
know.
Liverpool.
Yeah, I know.
I will say this specific game would have been a good one for Trent
Yes,
Alexander-Arnold.
exactly,
Yeah,
yes.
this and the Ghana game,
Yes.
as it turned out.
Peter, so the weather in Philly is bad. It has to be bad in Jersey as
No,
well.
actually, it's 73, but there is a 50% chance of rain, so it's humid.
Okay.
And the official wet bulb temperature is below 70 degrees, so
Okay.
it's not great, but it's not as
Yeah.
bad as it is in Philly.
Okay.
Philly is actually warmer. Philly is actually a higher, like it's going to be like almost 80, and the humidity and
Okay.
everything is just off the
So
charts.
it's worse for Croatia against Ghana than it will be for England against Panama weather-wise. Okay.
So just to finish up on what I was saying, the English fullback situation is now bad because Tino Livramento has also gone home.
Right.
So you've lost one right back, and now you've lost another, which is why Kwanzaa is starting, Nico O'Reilly is starting, but you don't have a ton of options. Trevor Chalobah can play at fullback. He's in the squad. Not an option you really want to turn to. And Jed Spence is there, who's also no one's idea of a World Cup winning fullback. So this is looking a little
Poor
iffy
Chet
for the English.
taking strays. All right, so we should probably clarify this for the listeners who don't know, because maybe I'm not even 100% sure. The rules do not allow for you to substitute. Like, if you got a guy like Reece that's injured and you've lost Livramento, you can't replace them now in the tournament.
No, it is possible, but very improbable. There are cases where the injury is deemed grave, I believe, or maybe
so
it's third
Ugarte,
keeper.
if Uruguay was going to the knockout round, and Ugarte yesterday went down with clearly not just a tournament, but probably a next season-ending knee injury, could they replace Ugarte if they were going to play around a 32 game, which they're not?
I'm going to read you what it says. FIFA allows national teams to replace injured or seriously ill outfield player before the tournament. Oh, it's the third goalkeeper that is sometimes allowed to be replaced,
but not a field player.
Not a field player.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're pretty much SOL if that happens. So maybe you're stuck with Kwanzaa and Jed Spence, England.
Yeah.
That's probably what it
That's
is.
why depth comes into play. That's why
Yeah.
depth wins World Cups. Okay, the situation group-wise, England has advanced. Ghana has advanced. Croatia sits at 3 points. And by the way, we don't know first or second, England, Ghana, but they have advanced. Croatia sits in third with 3. A loss to Ghana would essentially eliminate Croatia. So they need a draw to advance likely as a wild card, and then or a win, which would then place them in first or second, depending on what England does against Panama. Right? So we got that.
And the
Okay,
most likely
yes.
thing is that England go on to win this group, which would see them head to Atlanta to play Senegal or the DR Congo.
Yes, it's a much better side of the bracket for
Yes.
England. It avoids Spain, France. If you finish second, you're on that side.
Yes.
The thing about England finishing first, Peter, as you know,
Yeah.
if they win their round of 32, means they play their round of 16. Where?
In the Azteca,
Against
assuming yes,
either Mexico or Ecuador, the two teams in the tournaments, that's probably best set up to deal with altitude.
Yes. So that'll be an interesting preview show for us when we preview that game, because that could be a little bit of a surprise there.
And whoever goes from there goes to sweaty Miami to face Brazil, Japan, Ivory Coast, or Norway.
I gotta say, if I ever wanted to go to Mexico,
Mhm.
it would be to go to the Azteca to watch Mexico v. England.
And just take it all in.
Yeah,
Just,
that would be.
You don't
now,
mind
that
the
would
beer
be a
being
bucket.
thrown on you?
No, that would
Okay.
be a bucket list trip
All
right there.
Okay.
Yeah, can you help me make that happen, Andy?
No.
I can host the show. That seems like a good idea for everyone.
Get Peter out of here, man. Ratings through the roof. No,
Nothing
just
can
kidding.
go
We
wrong.
can't do the show without Peter.
It would officially be called Kick-Ass Kicker.
Yeah. Before we go, let's do our predictions real quick, right? So
Yes.
that I can jot these down, because we do have a contest going. We are going to reveal the standings after group play tomorrow, but for now,
I gotta say, you have. This is like the 7th time since you've arrived at the station that you have reminded everybody, either
so
on
you
the
think-
air or off
you
the
think
air,
that- you
that
think-
tomorrow is the reveal.
Yeah,
and so I
you
have a feeling that bodes well for only you.
no, come on.
Are you
No.
feeling good about your predictions, Lars?
I'm feeling better about them. The first
the
match,
tally of
match
them?
day 1 was brutal for me with all these upsets, but I feel like match day 2 and 3, more things have gone the way I expected.
So just to be clear, everybody understands, not only did we predict the groups, but we actually went through and predicted each game
Yeah.
down to the score level.
Yeah. Prior to the tournament
Prior
starting.
to the tournament, and here's what I know to be true about how I went about it, because it was a long and arduous process. Spent a lot of time in group stage 1, probably a little less time in group stage 2, and by group stage 3, I was like 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1.
Are you setting the scene for tomorrow's reveal? I think you are. You're already. All right.
Yes, I have
yeah.
England beating Panama 2-0, and I have Croatia and Ghana tying at deuce.
I have the England beating Panama 1-0 in a tight game, and then I have Croatia and Ghana at what do you call it? Sticks.
Twos.
No, 1-1.
one.
Hockey
Hockey
sticks.
sticks.
Hockey sticks. There you
Yes.
go. And then you, Lars.
I have a tight 1-0 win for England against Panama. Underwhelming performance. The English are going to complain, but they'll probably win in the end. And then I've got Croatia beating Ghana 2-1. Now, I don't feel good about that.
No.
That was before I realized the true extent of Carlos Queiroz' heresy. Now that I
did
know,
you even
now that I
question
know
it?
the full evil that he has unleashed upon us.
Will
I
Ghana
could-
rotate, because they are assured of advancement, even if they lose?
Maybe.
So will he rotate? Who knows? Okay.
Interesting stuff. Yes, that's will Thomas Tuchel end up having to have the exact same press conference that Mauricio Pochettino had the other day, where everybody's angry about how badly they played, and he's like, "Guys, we won the group. What are you whining about?"
Well, they haven't won the group. England.
Yes, but I'm saying if they win the group, if they end up winning the group, but they play poorly against
Yeah,
Panama,
right,
you know how
yeah,
that's going to go.
right.
Everybody-
Panama's on the
well-
flight home. We are not.
Gareth Southgate took them to 2 finals at the Euros and was still largely panned and written off as a failure. So, sections of the English media are very literally impossible to please.
But you know that was why that was, because he wore the vest all the time.
Yeah. Maybe. I think it's because he didn't win. Some of the players missed penalties in the shootout, and that means the coach is an idiot because this is how the English brain functions.
So there's Group L. That kicks off at 4 o'clock. The Croatia-Ghana game on FS1, England-Panama on Fox. Let's see a little CONCACAF fun in action. When we come back, we will move into the 6:30 Group K games and do that next on our World Cup Kick-Around. Which one is this?
I mean, this one is all cringe.
This is all cringe.
It's the Austrian Shaggy song.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
It's worth someone, maybe me, doing some investigative journalism to find out why this happened.
Is this Austria 98 or something like that? What is it?
Much
2014.
2014. Wow.
Was Shaggy even a well-known personality in 2014?
I mean, he must
Was
have
that
been.
the
Because
peak
why
of
else
Shaggy?
why else would the Austrians get him
Peak
involved?
Shaggy? We were just looking at the ticket data site. The get-in price for the game tonight at Jerry World is right at your buddy's limit, Dixon, $12.23.
It's coming down, but that's a lot of money.
I actually ran into somebody the other day. I was shocked to hear this, that they said that they just took the risks. They showed up at the stadium. I think it was the Japan-Sweden game, and found somebody selling a couple of tickets outside the stadium, and they bought them and got in. And I'm shocked.
Sounds seedy.
It does, especially because of, obviously the safety part of that. Like, are you really getting real tickets?
Counterfeiting is hard with World Cup tickets because they have a special code and it doesn't activate till right before kickoff and whatnot. So
and you ultimately have to pass it through the official FIFA app to get into the stadium, right?
Yeah,
You can't walk in with your StubHub app.
No.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So for those of you trying to get into the game tonight, looking across the table, best of luck to you. All right.
Thank you.
I was looking at Lars. But you too, Dixon. Group K kicks off at the very weird time of 6:30. Too bad we don't have a super well-connected individual related to the show that could find out why there's this weird, quirky kickoff time at 6:30.
Last time we had one of those, I found out for you. How many times do you need me to, give FIFA a call on my little FIFA phone?
Some people ask ChatGPT. Some people ask Claude.
That's
Peter
right.
Welton
Yeah.
will ask
Oh,
Andy
you don't
just
have
about
AI
anything.
availability?
AI doesn't know the answer to this question.
I thought AI knew everything. It's going to come to take my job.
Here's the deal. Andy is World Cup history and World Cup FIFA connections when you're trying to find out the nerdy questions. And this is a nerd question. Why is the tournament kicking off games at an odd time on a Saturday? But probably not anybody else in the world is interested in knowing that other than me. But it is Group K, and in Miami, where it is also pretty sultry. And I understand that these tickets are incredibly difficult to get. It is Colombia, Portugal. Those tickets right now are running get-in price. Would you like to guess, Andy?
That's a Ronaldo game.
Right.
So $4K?
$3,500.
It's Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good game, no doubt, but Ronaldo pulls, man.
He does.
And Messi, the difference, too, is the Argentinian coach has said that he's going to rotate tonight. Messi will see limited minutes. Ronaldo's starting this game, right? I mean, Portugal wants to win this game and finish in first. So if you're a Ronaldo fan, you're going to get some minutes, man.
I'm sure he starts. I think it's hard to convince him not to start under any circumstance. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so currently Portugal and Colombia are tied on points, goal differential, and goals scored. What's the next?
Say that again. Within the same group, head-to-head.
Head-to-head. So, they're playing today. So let's say they tie.
Yep.
If they tied, let's say it's donuts today.
Yep.
They would be tied on points. They would be tied on head-to-head. They would be tied on goal differential between the two of them. And I think they would also be tied on goal differential within the group because they won those games by the same scores, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, that's the product of the head. That's the product of the total groups, right? So it's head-to-head, goal difference after that within the group.
They've both scored 7 goals. They both have a goal differential of +5. So is this going to come down to fair play?
Yeah, that would be the next one. Yep.
I forgot to go look at that table. When was the last time a group was decided on fair play in the World Cup?
It happens.
Happened to the Senegalese in Qatar, no?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
I
they
think
did.
you're
Yeah,
right.
yes,
yeah.
right. 1990.
Good
Holland.
shout.
Last time out, I remember this.
Yeah, because if it gets down to that level, it is you've been a good or a bad team, and then after that,
Have you been a good or a bad boy?
yeah, it's the FIFA ranking.
Which shouldn't count for anything.
No,
let's be fair.
that's the jankiest.
What do you want to do? Like number of corner kicks?
Coin toss?
Much rather that. Corner kicks and coin toss,
Well,
better options than the FIFA ranking.
FIFA ranking is, because we all agree the FIFA ranking is ridiculous, but it does beg the question when you finally get to that level of too many tie breaks, what is the appropriate tiebreaker, the ultimate
Wait,
tiebreaker?
it's not FIFA. Fair play. Is that what you guys are saying? You said FIFA ranking.
The very last one, if you're
No,
still tied
coin
on
toss.
it. Oh,
Drawing
it is?
off lots. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
no,
that after
drawing of
FIFA
lots.
ranking?
Yeah. No.
FIFA
FIFA ranking is not one.
Okay. All right. I thought I read at the beginning of the tournament. That is now in this with the new set of tiebreak rules. I thought that was the last one.
Okay, I'm going to confirm for you while you vamp.
Awesome.
As you say.
Because I do think the FIFA ranking, the Welsh went through a period of gaming the system there. Because there was some guy who found out we could ascend the rankings by just not playing any games. Because then you wouldn't have any negative results that would drag you down.
So yeah, maybe that changed then when they went to the head-to-head. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That seems silly.
you're confirming it
yeah,
is.
So
okay.
the drawing of lots doesn't happen anymore.
No. And
Wow.
it is your FIFA ranking.
Wow.
But that's what leads to my question. What do we think the ultimate tiebreaker should be?
Penalty kicks. Just get them
Just
together.
do a shootout. That's going to be difficult.
How would you
together.
do that if you're in two
If
different
they're
places?
playing in different.
Hey,
Yeah.
just don't have the World Cup anymore in big countries. Just go to small countries.
Just play it in Qatar every
Yeah.
year.
Can
where
I
you're
just
like
say
a
on behalf
block
of the
away?
Norwegians, we don't want it. It's too much
Your
of an
country is long, though.
All right.
Your country is long.
It's true.
Yeah.
So we have a great kit matchup today with Colombia and Portugal. This game will be fun. Right? I mean, this should be an entertaining game because they both want to win the group.
Colombia, Portugal, in fact, I have arrived at that as being my lock. Yeah, which is the increase. Again, we've had another setback. We were back on track with the lock, and then we had there we go with the sound effect. Yeah, always nice to realize that they are awake back there. It went wrong yesterday, so I've suffered another blow to my confidence. But I like both teams to score here, to be honest, because Portugal have got a lot of things going for them in attack, as we know. Great midfielders, great creators. Cristiano Ronaldo woke up from his nap time against Uzbekistan, so maybe he's ready to do something here as well. I don't love they have some defensive frailties, like Cancelo playing at right back. Maybe they drop him and play Dalot here, given that he's up against Luis Diaz, your favorite.
Yeah,
but I think Colombia have got enough going on in attack that they'll find a goal against Portugal.
So what's the exact bet then?
Both teams to score.
Both teams to score. That is your lock. Okay.
Lars' lock of the day.
Okay.
Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. Never mind. Okay. Let's see. Then Congo, we get to see for the first time in the tournament, their red third jersey and third kit today. That'll be great because I don't think the game will be very good. Congo and the Ooze today in Atlanta.
If Congo wins, they are most likely headed to the knockout rounds as a wild card.
A draw would get them there.
No,
as a
draw would give them 2 points. They have 1 point so far. So
why am I Oh, I don't have it on live. I have the wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we'll pause for you to.
I'm caught up.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's the Uzbekistanis, and they're a yo-yo team. Yo-yo teams are late kickoff game 1, early kickoff game 2, late again game 3.
This keeps happening to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
The draw. They were not fortunate with the draw.
That's what you get for
No.
qualifying late.
And I'm fascinated. So Iran were a yo-yo team, but they
Yes.
made it through, but they did concede an early goal.
Right.
So what we're
Yes.
looking at here is for Congo to score early. For
Early.
the Andy Swift yo-yo theory
Yes,
to hold
because
stand.
your body clock is a little out of whack, and you need to get game ready, and it takes a little bit.
So maybe that should have been the lock.
Yeah.
Congo to score in the first half. But I'm not sure you get any good odds on that, really, because the Uzbeks
Exactly.
They have issues.
You're not going to get the numbers you want from the odds.
All right, I have the game in Miami, Colombia and Portugal at 2-2.
So this is pre-tournament. I had Portugal winning this game 2-1 because I had the Portuguese getting to the final. But if I had to do it today, I'd have your exact score. That would be my prediction today. I'm not. I have to put down 2-1 Portugal. But
dear listener, we did these independently. We didn't discuss them, and we did them before the tournament. So you'll be surprised to learn I also have 2-2 Colombia Portugal.
I
think we just hang out too much.
That's
Our brains are becoming
yeah.
like melded. We become the kick-around hive mind.
Okay, but do you have
We've
0-0 for Congo, Uzbekistan, which is what I have, and that is not a good pick.
I don't. I have Congo winning 2-0.
Yeah.
I have Congo winning 2-1, and I'm not sure I feel great about that, but that's what we did. I think I had a moment where I looked at the Congolese squad and went, hang on, this is actually not terrible.
Okay. Well, no, 2-1's them winning this game is a good shout. I'm just saying, do the Uzis have a
The
a goal
Uzis is
in
definitely not that. We can maybe call them the Ooze as a joke. We
the
probably
Ooze.
should not call
Okay,
them the
the
Uzis.
Uzis. Okay.
Or the
The
Uzbeks,
Uzbek-
as would be the
Uzbekis?
the least
Can we
disrespectful
do
version of it.
Uzbekis?
Do you think
Uzbeks.
that- do you
That is
think
the
that-
correct one?
Uzbeks.
Uzbeks.
Do you think there's a Uzbekian gang that call themselves the Uzis? Because that kind of would make sense.
That would be,
You know?
that'd
Like
be
a-
kind of a hip nickname.
That would be. Or a biker gang in
like if there was a
Uzbekistan.
TV series and they had Uzbekistan, like some kind of Uzbekistani gang.
Do you know there is an Uzbek restaurant in Dallas?
There is. Where?
I was looking for a place that served Georgian food to take you guys, but that doesn't exist. But there is a place that serves Uzbek and generally Eastern European food.
Close, okay.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I don't know where anything is. I'm just saying
is there
it
an
exists.
address? There's a street it's on.
Yeah, and it's on Preston Road.
Oh.
Okay.
What's it called?
The Bubala Cafe and Grill.
Say it.
Bubala
Bubala,
Cafe and Grill.
okay.
Bubala.
Yeah.
We might have to go try that.
I'd
Some
be up for that.
adventure. We might have to
They
do
have
that.
a couple of Georgian things on the menu. I might
Of course,
check
Beltline can be anywhere between Irving and like.
He said
Far-
Preston.
Preston. Okay. So
Yeah, Preston.
Addison.
Yeah, Preston could go all the
Yeah.
way up into Prosper
Yeah.
and stop right
Yeah.
down here
Exactly.
in downtown.
Yeah.
The Preston Trail.
How far will we travel for some Uzbek? How about this?
We should do it on
if
Zoo
the
Day.
Uzbeks get a result in this game, we all go and eat their food.
Sure.
I
I'm
think That's a
in.
great bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
Any
Kick Around
result, like a
P1s
draw
can
as
come
well.
join
Like if
us.
they avoid defeats, we go and try the Uzbek food.
Yes.
Are you
I'm
in for
in.
that?
I'm
Should have
in.
thought of this as a feature early in the tournament.
100%.
We have a great variety of
Those,
different
yeah.
nationalities.
Uzbekistan, who has at 1 goal, scored 8 against so far in 2 matches. But yes, if they do pull it off today,
We go and eat some
We go
Uzbek
and
food.
eat.
Yes, love that for us.
do it.
I dig it. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we got one more group to do. That is Group J next on World Cup Kick-Around.
Anywhere else, all the time. Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Tick.
Join the Hardline Monday from 3 to 7 at Christie's on Greenville Avenue. Register to win a family 4-pack plus parking for the Rangers and Astros on July 11th and score Hawaiian Waters tickets every hour. Catch all the action with 60-plus TVs, 3 bars, 3 stories, plus a rooftop and patio that's perfect for game day.
I need to. Can you translate this, Lars?
I looked it up the other day just to check that it was vaguely clean. Because with
It
the
is.
sort of fight songs from the Balkans, you know,
It
you
is
never
clean.
know. Yeah, no, it is.
Yes.
I checked. We're in the clear.
Do this.
There was nothing mean about the Serbs in there. Which
That-
is the
those
thing
are
you want to
other
look out
songs.
for.
There's
Those
nothing
are
about
other
war
songs.
crimes or anything like that in there.
Absolutely
Okay,
no.
good. All right. Do you know what this? Do you speak Croatian?
No, I do not.
Okay.
But Lars has already researched it.
Yeah, we're good.
and it's
So what is the chorus in this? Do we know?
I can look it up.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. I didn't know. Sorry.
I was listening to that song, watching Luka Modric warm up. I don't know. World Cup! Yes! Thank you, boys, for playing that now.
Andy's got World Cup fever. All right, so after the oddly timed 6:30 games of Group K, we will finish out the evening. Do these qualify for World Cup After Dark, I suppose? The
Yes,
9 o'clock
pretty
games?
dark.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right, this is where we got to get into it because the tournament has delivered us this scenario, which is Algeria v. Austria, which obviously beckons the question and the remembrances of the historic moment of the ghost of Gihon. Andy, would you like to tell
the disgrace?
The disgrace. Who would like to tell the story of the disgrace of Gihon? I guess that'll be Andy.
We've told it many times, but this is 1982 World Cup in Spain, and Germany is in West Germany at the time is in the group with Austria and Algeria, and Chile is in that group as well. So the third games were played, and Chile played Algeria before the Austrians and the Germans played their game. Algeria beat the Chileans 3-2. And the way the points worked out in that group meant that if the Germany against Austria game finished 1-0 Germany, both West Germany and Austria would advance.
It had to be specifically that score result.
Right, yes.
Right, okay.
So, the Germans and the Austrians, they're looking at each other at kickoff. The Germans go score a goal. And then it's essentially
The Simpsons.
A kick-around.
The scene from The Simpsons.
It's a kick-around, exactly.
Famous
yeah, and the
Algerians
were eliminated, and that led to the rule change or the format change at World Cups where all third games in group play would be played at the same time so that two teams in one match wouldn't know the prior result and then could finagle their way to both advancing like happened then. Ironically is that now it's Austria and Algeria playing a match where both, if they draw, both will advance. If one wins, this is the first dilemma. Not dilemma, but scenario. And if one wins, the other one could theoretically be eliminated from being in contention for the best third-place team. Now, the other issue at stake is second place probably gets you, is it Spain? Whereas finishing as a wild card gets you an opponent not Spain, not named Spain. So there's an incentive for one of the teams to not finish second, although Austria is locked into second. So it becomes a question of, does Austria go for the tie and everybody wins and advances in that regard, but then you get to play Spain, or they try to lose the game but risk then not advancing as a wild card? That has gone away a little bit because of how the wild card third place table has worked out. So a tie, in all likelihood, is the best outcome for everybody involved.
Right. Now, Algeria does need to score a goal no matter what, because they are on 3 points with -2. If they lose the game, they won't go through as a third-place team.
No, exactly. Right. Yes. But if Austria wins,
they're out.
If Austria wins,
not enter Austria, Algeria would be out.
Yes,
100%.
Yes, but then Austria has to settle for second and play Spain. Do I have that right? It's
yes.
I think second place they're trying to avoid.
Second place is Spain. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and this is. And dear listener, if this issue of who comes third and where they end up is breaking your brain, please be aware you're not alone. I do think what's really changed things here is like all the goals Senegal scored, for instance, that kind of moved the needle on the goal difference in the third place
ranking. That goofed
ranking.
a lot of people up yesterday.
Yeah, so there definitely was a possible scenario here where Austria might have become incentivized to lose to avoid Spain, but that is no longer a thing, because if they lose now, there's a high risk of them not qualifying at all. 4
points, I think, will get you through as a third-place team.
It will.
Yes,
100%.
But 3 points will not.
Yes, whereas my point being, before Iran got a point against Egypt, before Senegal scored all those goals, there was a world in which 3 points, but quite a bad goal difference could still be enough.
Yeah, but
that's no longer.
No, but this is the catch. This is going to give people tired head. But if
I think they're already there.
Yeah, if Austria goes for the win, to avoid not losing, right? They open themselves up for a loss, obviously. But Algeria knows that if they also draw, they're not going to get second place. They're not going to face Spain, and they will advance as a wild card. So Algeria, a tie is great. They don't need to win or want to win. Austria, meanwhile, can't advance unless they finish second. There's really no scenario for them to advance as a third place, because if they lose the game, they're not going to advance as a third place.
Right.
So Austria's kind of locked in advancing and playing Spain. Algeria's locked in with a draw. They get to advance. So there's no incentive for either team to do anything beyond a draw.
So
That
what,
is
so
the
what
issue.
you're saying is that the draw really should have been the lock here.
Oh.
I just have this feeling.
Too late, Lars.
No, I just think I have a hard time imagining a Ralph Rangnick team going out to just not play football because
Okay.
they're always like.
So yes, you're right, and I would say I would even go beyond that and say that Austria has this 1982 stigma hanging over their national team. They're not going to do anything where they're
Right.
again associated with something
And
like
the
that.
whole philosophy of the coach is that to play on the front foot all the time, sometimes to his detriment. That hasn't always worked in his career, as Peter will well know.
Yeah, Ralph Ragnick is not buying into a pre-agreed
I
arranged
just
1-1
don't
draw.
see that
No.
happening, to be honest.
No,
would
not a
never do that.
prearranged, not a wink one, but I think both teams are going to be really cautious.
Yeah.
We'll see what if Austria is or not.
Has
Algeria
Ralph
has
Ragnick
to,
ever been cautious?
Yeah, that's the thing.
so what is so then it's a wide open game. It's like 3-2. I don't know.
It's after dark. It's World Cup
All
after
right.
dark.
Okay.
By the way, so right now, as of this moment, the rankings for third place teams, there are 4 teams at the top of the table with 4 points. There is the next 4 that have 3. The 2 bottom ones have -1 goal differential. So Algeria is on 3 at -2 at this point.
Yes.
So that's why they have to at least tie the game, because a tie is the thing that gets them through is not the goal differential
It's the
change,
point.
it's the point.
Yes. Remember this: Senegal at 3 points and +2 is assured of advancement. So that means any team that finishes with 4 will advance either in second place or as a best third place.
And I will then point out, if Algeria manages to get a tie and Congo manages to beat the Uzbeks tonight, the 2 teams that will suffer for that are South Korea, and if they lose today,
Yeah, Croatia. Yeah, Croatia's out for all intents and purposes. They don't get a result today, a draw or a win. They're not going to advance as a wild card. The probability is super, super low.
I'm very much Team Uzbek tonight anyway because I want us to go to that place.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can go to the place anyway.
We can go to Baba Booey whenever you want. There we can do that all the time. Yes, I am worried, because Scaloni did announce. Have you guys seen the video of why the Argentine manager revealed in advance that Messi was not starting? Have you seen this story?
No, but no.
Have you seen this, Lars? Yeah. So there is an Argentine journalist who is in his 90s. He is covering his 12th World Cup. Wow. And he was in attendance, and he asked the question, is Messi starting tomorrow? And Scaloni said, look, I don't normally do this, but I love and respect you so much. He came off the stage, gave him a hug, and said Messi's going to start on the bench tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is really cool.
But he also said he's going to see minutes.
Yes, 100%.
For those going to the game, at least know that.
I guess, are we surprised by that?
No.
Do they
Surprised by what? That he's not starting?
know that they would play him at all, risk him at all?
Yeah, if you're not starting him. I thought maybe Messi's like, no, I'm starting, and then you pull him in the 55th or something. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm also a little surprised, to be honest, because we saw in the other games that he's already played more minutes than I thought would have been sensible in this group stage.
For sure, that second game.
Which suggested to me that maybe he himself wants a lot of minutes. But, resting him a little bit is nice. Giving the good people of Dallas who are going to the game a bit of a Messi show in the second half is also nice. So maybe this is the win-win.
The Argentine fans being here 2x and the Japanese fans being here 2x has been great. The scenes at Clyde Warren for the second time, the Argentine pep rally of Banderazo.
Yeah.
The Argentine pep rally at Clyde Warren last night. The scenes
were you aiming for
awesome.
the Bombonera there? Or what were you?
Was something.
Bombonera is
Bombonera's
the,
a stadium.
Boca
yes,
Junior
yes,
Stadium.
I have seen my first bit of Jordanian fan presence in Dallas. As we were driving in, as I said earlier, I got a lift from Andy today, and we were behind someone who was driving a Jeep, and it had a big Jordan flag on the
I
back.
didn't see that.
I saw somebody wearing a Jordan jersey down the stairs outside the
go.
W.
All right.
So, yeah, pretty kick-ass stuff. Okay.
Scores.
Oh, yes.
I have 1-1. Pre-tournament, I had 1-1 for Algeria, Austria. You
Keep
guys. And then I had Argentina beating Jordan 3-0.
I have Argentina winning 2-0, and I have Austria winning 1-0.
Whereas I had Algeria, Austria 1-1, and I had Argentina, Jordan 3-0. They really didn't consider the pronunciation woes of us poor broadcasters when they put Argentina, Algeria, and Austria in one group.
No, they didn't.
Should have just had Australia in there as well. I mean, that would have been amazing.
In a Group J. That would
in Group J.
100%. Okay, we got one more segment because tomorrow begins the round of 32. We'll talk about that and a few other things. And answer Andy's World Cup quiz question next on our World Cup Kick Around. All right, we are, just like you, getting ready to watch the 4 o'clock games, which are about to kick off on Fox and FS1. Interesting to see what happens in those. Hopefully they turn out good. We need to be done quickly because Andy has a Croatian family watching party to hustle to get to.
You just sit and enjoy the Norwegian song from World Cup 94. Very emotional, very good.
And what is the message being sent here?
This is very patriotic. I mean, the title of the song is All for Norway.
It's kind of mellow, though. Huh?
Yeah. Our best men are going out to do battle again, he just said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody's sad?
Why does it sound like a soft AC song that Michael McDonald would sing?
This is the vibes. Listen, you heard your own song from 94.
Yeah, mine was a goofy rap.
No, the 94 one, which had the big,
right. No, the 90 was the
that
goofy
had
rap.
the Heal the World vibe.
Yes, that one did.
This is the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
now it's picking up, though.
Yeah.
Now it's picking up.
Yeah.
Okay, very inspirational. I'm sure it won the nation over, especially when you beat.
We beat no one
beat
in that
nobody
tournament. That was
94.
terrible.
That's right.
That was awful.
98.
Yeah, absolutely atrocious.
Okay.
Yeah, Peter.
So
Those
we
are
beat
the
England to get
reminders.
there, and that was good.
when we started this planning for the World Cup Kick-Around, we were very clear about the fact that, we were essentially going to try to do a show. We were going to do a show every night, Monday through Friday. We were going to sit and do the show for 2 hours in our regular Saturday slot. And the way I kept saying is we're going to sprinkle in some Sundays. Well, tomorrow, boys and girls, is one of those Sundays as the knockouts begin tomorrow with the game between South Africa and Andy's Canada.
Yep, in Toronto, Vancouver.
It's in L.A.
No, it is in L.A.
No,
because
your
they
team
couldn't
blew
win
it.
their group. They did.
Although Jesse Marsh sat on the floor
He
in
knew
the
what he was
grass
doing.
and knew exactly what
Who
he
did they
was
get to
doing.
play? They get to play South Africa. Nothing against
This is the big
you know,
brains of the man from Princeton.
But,
he knew it was
it's-
going this way.
As
He
far
knew.
as opponents in the group of 32 match go, can't complain about that one. It's not like Belgium or Spain or France or something like that, right?
Yeah, no, they're there because they qualified, so we can't fully disrespect them. But it wasn't a great group they got out of. Let's be fair, and I think as far as knockout opponents in the World Cup go, this is not a bad one for Canada.
It's not. Finishing first likely would have gotten you Iran, which also would have been, a doable opponent. But now in the knockout rounds, as we all know, especially at the round of 32, which is the first time ever we're going to have a round of 32 knockout stage in World Cup history. I would say anything can happen. I think you're going to start to see depth matter a little bit more, but it's still in an early enough stage that you can see some upsets in this round, right?
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
expecting upsets in this round for sure.
Yeah.
It is interesting that Mexico got through their group stage undefeated and made a big deal about that. But am I wrong in saying that the team they're most likely going to end up facing in their round of 32 game is going to be Ecuador?
It's for all intents and purposes, it's Ecuador.
Which is ridiculous considering the U.S. and Canada both ended up not going undefeated in their group stage, and people gave them crap about it, and we get to play Bosnia, and Canada gets South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, it's a factor of not how well you did within the group. We talked about Mexico-Ecuador because Ecuador is the one team that might have a little bit of experience playing in
Funny how
It's
that
just
works
the
out.
nature of Group E, where you had Germany, but also Ecuador and Cote d'Ivoire.
yeah.
So you had two really good teams, of which one would end up third.
Right.
Whoever gets Senegal will also feel, hang on, we get Senegal?
Yeah. Also remember when you're looking at how teams performed in group stage, that teams that went 3-0 historically, the last 5 champions have not gone 3-0 in group play, and it's more rare than not rare that the champion goes on because you have to go 7 straight, or these days 8 straight if you're going to win the World Cup. And so maybe a little bit of rotation, a little bit of resetting expectations in group play is not a bad thing.
Yeah. I'm sitting here looking at the current third-place table because I was just thinking about what Lars just said. Ecuador is a team that nobody wants to play, whether you're playing them at altitude or not. I'm trying to think. Senegal would be another one. And are the Swedes somebody you wouldn't?
I think after seeing what the Dutch did to them, I don't think anyone's panicking about the Swedes.
I don't think so
Especially
either.
France. They play France. So,
Also, they've lost their best defender, Isak Hien, to an injury, so that's bad. England probably will bump into Senegal in the round of 32, and that is interesting.
That is
given
an
that
interesting
England,
game.
we're just about to kick off in the Panama game, but I do feel like after the Ghana game, we feel like England are maybe not quite in their groove. And so they run into Senegal early,
which then takes
spicy.
Which does take me back to the idea that I was talking about earlier, and we'll talk more about this in the coming days. Which is, I just don't think U.S. playing Bosnia is worth looking past. I think Bosnia is going to end up being a much more difficult.
That's very, very
game,
sensible.
You know,
of course.
Brazil playing Japan. I mean, Brazil are still kind of feeling their way. Japan are not a bad team.
Netherlands, Morocco is another
Netherlands,
banger.
Morocco. That's a pick 'em, I think, honestly.
That, by the way, that was my big upset of the tournament was
Morocco.
Japan beating Brazil and knocking Brazil out early.
All right,
because that's what made Japan my dark horse.
Why are you pointing at me like that?
That would mean
drive my point home, sir.
That would mean either Ivory Coast or Norway get Japan in the round of 16. Which is not,
Germany, Paraguay,
me
and the
not getting ahead of
Boston
myself.
Heat.
Listen to Lars get hopeful.
I do think, I actually think Ivory Coast, Norway is closer to a pick'em than people realize.
I agree.
Ivory Coast are real good.
Yeah.
We'll spend a little bit of time tomorrow talking about his visit to to Dallas Stadium to watch Norway.
But
right?
just talking about this, this is when the real meat of it starts. We've had an absolute pile of games, and some of them have been great. But this is like proper World Cup stuff here.
Yeah. New gear.
Lars's trip to Jerry World to watch Norway is on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah. Apologies.
All right.
Tuesday. Yes.
We need to do like a whole
Yes.
Lars, you got to take
sure.
your stick camera. You got to video all this.
There'll be content. Don't worry about that.
All right. And please sit next to other Norwegians so we get video
It's
of you
not really
rowing.
up to me, sir.
Oh, okay.
He sits where he sits, Peter, as you know.
But
I'm excited just to be there. Wherever I'm sitting, that works for me.
Do you know how many times I have been asked? You know who officially has asked me to make sure we have video of you rowing? Fox 4.
Really?
Oh,
yes.
You can't turn down Fox
I don't
4, Lars.
Mike Ducey and Sam Gannon
They want me
have
to row.
insisted. Lars rowing video.
If I'm in a position of where people are rowing, I'll row, but I won't be like a random rower in the middle of people who are not rowing. That's weird behavior.
That's fair.
Have we worked out if we're getting Lars a Norway jersey for this?
I don't think you should, because I don't love wearing jerseys.
Oh, okay. You won't wear it if we got you one?
Possibly not.
Oh.
I told him to just wear the colors, man. Something like this. This is not a jersey.
Do you have an appropriate shirt?
I don't know, Peter. I've not put any thought into this. The amount of time I spend thinking of clothes is,
Well, no, I get that, but you're going to watch Norway in a knockout game in the World Cup.
Yes, I spend a lot of time thinking about what the team will be and what they will do. I will not spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm wearing, because our brains are wired differently, sir.
No, that's fair. I want to help you in that. I want to figure out if we can find you a red shirt.
You can help me by letting me wear whatever I want.
Okay.
Peter, you've just crossed the line.
I guess so.
You've crossed. This is what I will say. A person going to watch their national team play in a World Cup match, especially an important one, a knockout round, you just have to.
In the country's history.
What?
He called it the most important.
But
Our second strip
you
is
have to have that. Give that person their moment and let them experience the game as they want.
100%. I just made I should not have assumed that Lars would want like a red shirt to wear
because
for
all
game.
you know, every time he wears a red shirt to a Norway game, they lose, and he's trying to do a counter jinx. You don't know this.
This is true. Yeah.
I do. I mean, our second strip is black, so I can just go with a black polo shirt or something, which I have a fair few of.
Yeah, that's interesting because who are you playing?
Ivory Coast.
So Ivory Coast will be the home team. They will get their first pick, which will be orange, which means you won't wear your red. You'll probably be asked to wear your white, which you have not yet worn in the tournament.
Man, your kit brain is just another level.
See, Lars
It's
worries
another
about
level.
I've
formations.
completely zoned out.
Your kid, no, like this is.
No, we'll just
I'm
get Lars a
impressed.
white T-shirt. He'll be fine.
That took you like it was like AI. You punch in and then it just boom, 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 boom. It's like I'm just
Peter GPT.
I'm open mouth here. I'm marveling at the ability for you to go through kit intelligence like that.
Permutations.
Yes, that's impressive.
I don't get it, Peter,
It's
but I
weird.
respect it.
Okay,
It's
well,
impressive.
you
For
know,
me, this is like being a foodie and then really being really concerned with the color of the napkins when you go to the restaurant. Like, it's a
well, that
factor,
would
just
be
not
it.
a very big one.
Andy's very picky about napkins.
I'm not. I'm with Lars. The food is what matters. Okay.
Is Julian Andreasson going to be fit again? That's on my mind. What shirt I'm wearing is not.
Which one is he?
The right back.
Okay.
He felt the muscle thing on the front of his thigh.
Hmm.
So we tried out some other players in that position against France. That was one of the things we were doing.
It didn't work very well.
Nah, Osnes looked a little leggy. Good
Is that the one that let Dembele score the same goal 3
No,
times?
that was on the left side.
Oh,
that was Björkan.
right.
We know he's not starting.
Yes. Okay, we're done here. Andy needs to go watch Croatia play. But before we do that, it is time now for the answer to Andy's World Cup quiz question.
Very simple question today. Which country holds the modern World Cup record
This is not an easy
for
question.
the most goals conceded? Lars is looking it up.
I'm not.
For the most goals conceded while finishing
How would
first
you
or
look this
second
up?
in their group and advancing to the
I
knockout
agree with Andy.
rounds.
You look suspicious while you're staring at your
Yes.
computer while he's asking the
Most
question.
goals
But to your
conceded.
point, this is not
How
something
on
you
earth
look
am I
up.
supposed to look
Most
this
goals
up?
conceded
Two things can be true.
while finishing first and second in your group and advancing to the knockout rounds.
Since
66 is when I started to do the research, and then 66 forward, last 60 years. Okay, the winner, by the way, gets this beautiful Dallas venue FIFA World Cup pin.
So we know that the theme is a team that's playing today, most likely. That's been consistent throughout. So looking at the teams that are playing today that might have gotten out of the group whilst conceding a bunch of goals. I feel like that's a slightly Argentina thing to do.
First or second in the group.
So we have an Argentina.
I'm going to go Argentina. This is an absolute shot in the dark. I love the format, but it's tough.
I'm going to point my gun straight up in the air and pull the trigger and say Ingerland.
Both would be wrong. I keep my pin. It is Norway 2026. Norway
Yes.
2026
Because
with
of the
7.
friends. Very good. See,
And
we're
it-
setting records all over the gaff.
Okay, you deserve to lose even more points because it was your country.
Okay.
Prior to that, it was
You
6. Prior to that, it was 6, set by a few teams.
We're competing here.
But Norway
really.
was in the conversation, right? Today, yesterday, so that's why Norway was
Very good.
the
I like
thing.
it.
Yes.
Good quiz
Great
question.
Good Lord, that's awesome. Well, there you go, kids. That is the answer to Andy's World Cup.
And I get to keep my pin.
And you get to keep your pen.
Yeah.
Those apparently are valuable and rare.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, everybody. Well, please enjoy the day of games ahead of you. We will be back tomorrow. Yes, there is a show tomorrow at noon. Noon straight up, where we will start getting everybody ready for the knockouts in the round of 32. Thank you to Mr. Dixon for producing today. Thank you to the great Trammell for running the board. Mr. Connerly for tickers, and for you, the P1. We love and adore you. Enjoy the World Cup, everybody. We're back tomorrow on The Ticket.